All right. The Sadist. AJ, what did you think of The Sadist?
Yeah. Um, I had high hopes when I saw the trailer because I thought, oh, this is cool. We're going to go back and watch like a classic black and white type of movie. When the movie started out, it really felt like
Sorry. Keep
it
going.
really it really felt like it was going to be like kind of like a Twilight Zone, and I was kind of into that. It's like, oh, there's no people around. They're kind of in the middle of nowhere. This could be pretty interesting. Like the setup and premise was kind of interesting. I was intrigued for a little bit. But as the movie went on, I quickly realized that we're going to be trapped with these people in this one location for the entire movie. And that's when all hope in life just drained from me because I realized I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through this entire film.
Hope in
And
life. Oh my god.
yeah, that's basically what happened. I had a really hard time watching this. The young guy, I thought he was just like way over the top, and he's like a teenager with a gun. There were so many opportunities for them to easily overpower him and just end this fucking situation. They didn't. It was unrealistic in that sense completely to me. I did not like this movie.
This is what it's like, though, if you vacation to Harrisburg.
That looks more like Western PA than Harrisburg.
Yeah, well. Aaron, what did you think?
You know, I genuinely like movies from the 50s and 60s. I think they have a great look to them. They definitely are paced different than modern movies. And especially like this type of movie, I like that the music and sound is kind of dispersed periodically. It's not like a continuous like most modern movies are. So it gives it a very like raw feel. So when something does happen, it has more of a connection. But this movie is just really boring. It's them standing around a car while an asshole makes stupid faces, and I just did not enjoy it. There was nothing redeeming about this for me.
Okay. Rebecca.
I like this one. I thought the like 60s over the top acting was it added to it. Like Aaron said, the music added something too, like where as the action would rise, the music would go along with it and then fall back down as things kind of settled down a little bit. I thought they were over the top, but I think for the time period and what was happening, it worked. Yeah, I liked it.
Man, okay. Lindsay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie too. Because during that time in the 60s, there was a lot of like crazy teen exploitation movies like Bad Kids, you know, the hopheads and the weirdos and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so that this fits really well into that genre. And also the story it's based on, like nobody would touch that for like another 10 years with, I think Badlands, maybe there was one before it, but Badlands I think was maybe the first to touch this story at all. And they're doing some really interesting things with the cinematography and different shots, like the POV and stuff like that. And for the early 60s, this was a very brutal film. So I really enjoyed this one. I think it's too good for this podcast.
Spiv.
Yeah, no, it's very well made, I thought. Definitely 60s, so you're going to get that slower pacing. You're going to get the more fixed camera angles and things like that, and the acting, of course, is very melodramatic at times.
It's more like stage acting.
Just slap
Yeah.
a woman. Just slap him.
Yes. Oh, and she's hysterical, Lindsay. You have to slap her. Yeah. Oh boy. My biggest problem was the story because, as AJ said, they had at least 15 chances that they could have easily escaped from this guy. Forget overpowering him. Just like he's distracted making out with his girlfriend, just start walking away.
There's three of them.
And there's
and a
three of
teenager.
them. They could easily
3 adults.
tackle them. Yeah, so that kind of bugged me, but it's the 60s, so I get it. But yeah, I think this movie kind of is like an archetype for movies to come. I mean, we've seen this plot so many times.
A lot of like The Hills Have Eyes, especially that beginning when the slow pan through the abandoned like office area.
Sitting
That's
there
cool.
on the table.
That was really cool.
Yes, everything was very deliberate. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't think I'd watch it again, but I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was too good for the podcast. I don't like it. Wasn't there's nothing bad about this? Like, I mean, you
Just
might
boring, I think.
well,
was a little
but
hokey.
also like
it was boring.
but that's also I feel like we're looking at it through like today's lens. Like there is some
Right.
crazy
Oh, yeah.
shit in this
There
movie
wasn't like
that
extreme action. Or,
no, but you have like some really messed up scenes that if this movie was made nowadays, you'd be like, damn. Like that scene where like the older professor guy's like begging for his life.
Yeah.
And we're all like, well, it's 60s. And I think the problem I have is like the bad guy is so polite compared to nowadays where it would be like, you fucking, it'd be gross. But here he's like, gee willikers, mister, I'm really going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you badly.
I'm gonna
or
finish my pop, and then
My
I'm gonna
pop.
shoot you in the face.
my pop, and then I'm gonna and they're like, but he's like, out of
there's
today's
kind
lens,
of an
it's like
implied rape scene, I would
Yeah.
say, for the 60s.
true,
yeah.
Where he tears her dress. Yeah.
but it's just the language and all that stuff. It feels much more polite and everything.
Yeah.
But like
Well,
he
yeah,
freaking
the Hays
shoots the
Code.
guy right in the face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty messed up for.
Point blank, right in the
Yeah.
face.
And
For
you
no
don't.
reason either, yeah.
Well, the reason.
But
is
he
they-
also looks like
they
a
revel in
cartoon
the-
character, so it's hard to take him
His hair was
seriously.
goofy.
Have you
his
seen
laugh
a
was goofy.
picture of the actual Charlie Starkweather? He's a little kooky looking.
He did, yeah.
I think his eyes are so blue, it just looks.
Yeah, it looks
in the black and
creepy.
white sepia tone, it just looks
Yeah.
unsettling.
His facial expressions and everything. It was,
His unibrow.
Unibrow.
The way he holds the gun though, it looks silly.
He's a sharpshooter,
like
though.
Sharpshooter.
I know, but it's like it just looks silly for some reason.
He should
Got
be
my
in a
gun, I'm
garbage
gonna
pail
shoot ya.
kid.
yeah, he does look like
Card.
the garbage pail kid.
He really. That's a movie we need to cover on the podcast.
No.
Oh God.
That is a
cover that.
bad movie.
But I do appreciate this kind of movie where it's like everything is happening in over the course of one day and
It's
You
almost
know,
real time. It's real
in
time.
one-
Yeah.
yeah.
It is.
In
yeah.
one confined area.
and the tensions rise. Like this would be a much more probably entertaining movie if it was remade nowadays by a competent director. But a lot of times I kept feeling like that Hills Have Eyes pool, but I was thinking, oh man, I could see like Rob Zombie redoing this and it would be so annoying as
Like,
fuck.
I'm gonna drink my fucking pop and I'm gonna shoot you in the
Yeah.
fucking face.
Yo, you better sit down there, boy. I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna slap you in the ass. I'm gonna fuck your ear, and I'm gonna tell your mama she's a whore. And like, just shut the fuck up, Rob Zombie. That's like what I would picture the whole time. You know what I mean? And it would be obnoxiously annoying. But I didn't feel. I didn't.
You just completely nailed it. Like it's
That's what he would
It
do.
was exactly.
Oh,
That's that
God.
scene almost verbatim.
They would get what's his name, William Forsythe in it as and but I didn't feel any of the tension, and it could have been because of the filmmaking of the time, the pacing is very slow and all that stuff. But like I wasn't ever like I never cared. I guess I was never that invested. And again, maybe if it was remade nowadays, that tension would be more palatable to me, or palpable, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
But it did do a good job of like a subtle foreshadowing that things are not going well, like things are off, like when they first arrive, because you get that pan like that there's nobody in the office, but then it goes over and you see that the phone line's been cut,
Yeah.
but they don't know that, so it's like the audience is clued in way before they are, so it puts in that sense of dread a little bit because we haven't been introduced to the bad guys yet. But after that, yeah, they don't build it as well.
I think I was just hoping
Was it
for
a-
something more. Like they would kidnap the lady, and then the other guy would try to go after, like something that would create something more to the story other than wrong
think it was
place, wrong
pretty-
time, crazy guy.
I think it was pretty low budget though, so they kept
Yeah,
it to them
that's
one
fair.
setting.
Was it a common thing in the 60s to just replace your fuel pump on
Yeah.
the side of the road? And,
Yeah,
boy.
Oh
probably.
my god, you would
Everyone
replace
in
all
this
kinds of
movie.
shit.
Fuel was really bad quality back then.
Yep.
Yeah, but really though, because like, even the motorcycle cops pull over and like, oh yeah, I just changed my fuel pump
It
last
was
week.
30
I mean-
bucks.
Maybe a,
Oh, so
maybe
you
a
still
fuel
work on
filter
cars,
back
too.
then. Fuel pump. I mean, mechanicals were not nearly as robust as they are
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah, but
Things were a lot more
Jeez.
simplified.
Right. That's why cars were like trash after 80 to
Yeah,
100,000 miles.
But see, the thing of it is like, he's working on this car with like heavy duty wrenches and shit. I'm like, fucking hit the guy in the hand so he breaks his hand, drops the gun, and then smack him across the face, and this whole thing is done. You know what I
'cause
mean?
Judy's not gonna do anything. Although she
Fucking
was a little
Judy.
crazy.
Fucking Judy. You know what I mean?
That's one thing that I found very interesting about this movie is just the early 60s sensibilities, because you
Yeah.
have these three people, they're young the two are young professionals, and they're kind of haha in love. And it's so funny, the Mr. Styles,
all
he takes
teachers,
his shirt off. He's like, "Judy, I don't want to shock you, but I don't want to get
Yeah.
more I was like, "Damn, he was pretty fit." I was a little shocked.
He
But
was.
they're going to a baseball game in their suit or their dress shirt and tie.
Yes, and she's all
in a
done
dress
up.
and done up.
It's the 60s.
And just the sensibilities of, like, she doesn't understand why they have the rules in baseball, and the older guy is like, "Why are you trying to explain it to a dame?" You know?
God,
Their
it's
feeble
awful.
minds can't comprehend.
Yeah.
No, here, have a Coke, Judy, and sit
make
the
a
fuck down
sandwich.
and shut the fuck up.
Explain it, all right?
You're
Explain the
never
rules of
gonna
baseball.
But if you
understand
hit
this
a home
woman.
run, why do you have to touch
The,
the base?
the thing of it is, though,
Right?
like that, the misogyny of the times is very much alive in the script, but also it's interesting. The other girl, who's supposed to be like a young teen,
Yeah.
is like kind of almost somewhat the mastermind. Like I love those scenes where she would go and whisper in his ear, and they go and they look at somebody, and you're like, oh shit, what's
Yeah.
gonna happen now?
No,
What's
she
the
was
strings
crazier
being
than
pulled?
She was
him.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Chewing her gum and giggling.
She was kind of the puppet master, and
Yep.
he was the puppet.
And it's the level of psychopath here is what's like. There's no you can't barter with these people because they get off on watching you
Squirm.
beg for your life. They want
Sadists,
they
Chris.
they're almost
Yeah.
like they're sadists, man.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Almost. How'd they come up with the name?
Oh my god. It's all making sense. But that is cool.
I do feel like there's some of their sadism is limited because of what they can show in the movie back then. So a lot of it's just reduced to them like staring at each other, giggling like idiots,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what sadists do.
which
That's
makes them
basically
seem
what-
crazy.
Wait, can we all hold on one second? Because Braxley does stuff, says hello,
Hello,
and then says
Braxton.
hello, and then also says hello. So let's all just
Hello.
say,
Hello.
how you doing? How you doing?
What kind of stuff you doing, Braxley?
Yeah, Braxley, thanks. But the other thing, there's some foreshadowing with
The snakes.
the snakeskin, but
Yeah.
the way that comes back up again at the end, it's like, okay, Lindsay, that makes way more sense. But the way that
Well, then
comes back,
we gotta say, hello, Braxley.
hello,
Hello,
Braxley.
Braxley.
Lindsay's
Welcome.
Grace.
That's
Anyways.
Well, we
not
should
bad.
say, you probably don't want to watch this.
You don't want to, Braxley, click off now. You don't want to.
We need a parent,
This
a parent
is
in the
gone.
room.
This is so the snakeskin thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a foreshadowing of stuff coming
Yeah,
up.
it's the Chekhov's gun moment of the movie.
Which
But-
I appreciated.
Ooh,
It came back. It wasn't just some throwaway.
it comes back, but it's not like of any agency or of any like. The way it comes back is that the villain at the end falls into a pit of snakes, which is never the pit's never foreshadowed
No.
No.
or
and it's
any
some
of
weird
that.
abandoned house thing in the woods.
Yeah.
And it's like a dry well he falls down in or something like that.
Something.
Yeah,
Something.
but
Snake
it
pit.
it could have been a moment because I don't remember the main woman's name. She is
Judy?
very much just a
No,
complete
Judy's the-
helpless victim.
Oh no, the
entire
other one I
time.
can't remember.
Heather Hovey.
Which
Yeah,
we'll get to
Judy's
her.
the teacher.
Oh, I thought
get to-
Judy was the
right?
crazy one.
Or is Judy the crazy one? I thought Judy was the teacher.
The blonde or the
blonde.
brunette?
Doris.
Doris.
Dolores.
is the
Doris.
no,
Tough
Doris
name.
is the teacher lady.
Okay,
Judy
Doris.
is the
As the young girl.
yeah.
Makes me think of
So-
True Lies.
Dude, True Lies is a
Doris.
freaking
Boris and
awesome
Doris.
movie. That movie freaking awesome. So Judy, I don't remember which one it is. Doris,
Doris.
the main woman, she is useless the entire movie
Useless.
in a frustrating way. But at one point she criticizes Braxton or whatever the other guy's name is, the guy with the
younger guy?
tank top,
Yeah.
who's like working on the car because
Ed.
he allows the older guy to get shot in the face, and she blames
She
it on
calls him
him.
a
as
I'm a
coward.
coward.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
he was.
You're not a real man. You didn't do anything. Yeah.
But like they keep like moments like that that are like interesting dynamics that I thought could again later reveal itself that maybe she's not as much of just a victim and she comes to some sort of power by the end, but it doesn't turn out that way, which is super disappointing. It's just like running along and the guy
she
stumbles
doesn't
and
throw
snakes.
the snakes at him. Yeah. I can see.
She's a snake wrangler.
or trick him, like find the pit and then trick him into falling into it or something
She
like
is a woman in 1963. She does not have those capabilities.
that. That's true.
that comes in later in the 60s. Yeah.
Yeah,
Later
that's true.
60s would be a bit different.
Yeah.
But Judy, who is
She's chewing her gum the whole time.
but also
Whole time.
crazy and her death I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, I liked how she went out.
So
I think he actually shot her.
well, I probably did.
Hell, he was a sharpshooter.
He was a sharpshooter. So I mean, I guess we should go through some of the plot here. But like we said, like they break down
It's a very simple story.
at this rest stop and are looking for people. They find like warm pie or something, if I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'cause
And there's, like,
it's
signs
so warm
of-
he burns his hand when he touches
Oh
it.
my
Like,
god, that pie was right out of the oven. Holy
Piping hot.
in the 60s, pie stayed a little warmer. You know, climate change and all that stuff.
Before the McDonald's coffee lawsuit.
There you go, Smith. But they have to fix their car, and along comes these serial killers. And then it turns into them tormenting them for about an hour and 15 minutes. Meanwhile, like the serial killer's telling the guy he has to fix the car. And then
Yeah.
eventually, you know, he kind of outsmarts the killer by doing stuff with the fuel pump and having gas spray in his eyes. And that's the scene where the killer starts firing blindly at what he thinks is one of the people, but it turns out to be
His
Judy.
girlfriend.
his girlfriend.
Poor Judy.
And I was like, oh, Judy. My mom's name is Judy. And I just thought of my mom. She's
Too
old.
close to home.
I don't know how old she is, but she's probably older. She's as old as this, right, Aaron? 60s?
70.
70. Who knows when she was born then? Who can
I
do
was-
that math?
I was very sad that Ed went out the way he went out.
Yeah.
I
I
was
was surprised when he got killed.
I
yeah.
liked it. It was desperation. It was
It
good.
was very desperate.
And the anger that the villain guy showed when he like, 'cause he was chasing him down. It kept going on. He's shooting at him, but he corners him, and then he has to like reload his gun, and the guy attacks him. And gets the shot off, and then he just starts
unloading.
Yeah.
unloading.
Just
I was like,
unloads
oh,
the whole
shit.
thing into him. But there are some really brutal scenes like that in this movie. The other one that pops in my head is when the one girl's going to get water to help the guy's head wound. And, you know, he's like ripping her blouse or whatever. But then he's like shoving her face into the ground. Like, you like the dirt?
Lick
Taste
that
the dirt.
Yeah.
Taste the dirt. Because she called him dirt or whatever, an animal. That whole scene was very, very unsettling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
they-
really showed how unhinged he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't hold back on a lot of the psychotic behavior. If anything, nowadays, if this movie was made now, it's just you would see more of the acts. You would see the shot to the face and the blood and all that stuff. You would probably see like the rapey shit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if necessarily it's more effective seeing it or not. Like it still came across in this movie, I guess. I'll
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I mean, we had those two cops show
Oh,
up.
yeah, the
that
cops.
Oh,
you
Yeah.
like,
They were
Right
actual
away.
cops.
here we go. Like this is, and then
And they are the worst cops. They're like,
Yeah.
they're sitting there drinking their soda, and this weird guy just says that he belongs there. And all of a sudden, they see the empty clip on the empty
Yeah,
magazine. They're like,
an
oh,
empty
clip.
somebody lost their magazine. Ah.
Right? What a red flag.
And the second one doesn't even react when the
No.
first one is shot. Like he just stands there and
He's
Probably
like,
shot
Gadzooks!
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then we have there's two motorcycles there now.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
yeah,
Take
and they
them
like make the whole scene about like getting on them and playing with the horn and stuff. I'm like, just take a motorcycle. It works.
Yeah.
It was just
And
driven
yet,
in on.
yet another opportunity when they're distracted, and the good guys could have, taken the gun away or escaped.
Yeah.
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 But I think part of that goes back into the 60s mentality. Like, if I do what they say, they'll let me go, but then they figure out
Right.
who they are, and they still think they can.
When he's kind of psycho. I mean, even if he fixes the car, he's still gonna shoot him,
Oh, yeah.
which he says. So, but then they still try to fix the car.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I feel like if you're in this situation, you probably would feel a bit crippled in some ways. Like, I
Right.
They just shot your other
don't. Yeah.
person in
It's
your
just
party
like-
right in the face, and
Yeah, but
Like,
then,
you-
what do you have to lose, really?
Well, but you do see that then, Spiv, when he does corner the guy and he starts screaming and running at him like in desperation. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there's the scene where he's counting the bullets, trying
Yeah.
to talk to him. How many people? Did you kill them too? Did you shoot him? And then he figures out
that was a
he's
cool
out of
shot right
bullets.
there.
But then he doesn't have the guts to tackle him. Yeah. Yet again, I'm with Doris here. Ed was a coward.
And he was in the army too.
Yeah, he was a tank mechanic. or
Tank
something,
mechanic.
right?
That's why he knows how to fix the car.
Right. He replaces his fuel pump every 2 weeks. So.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks, is that what he said?
He said he had just fixed it like 2 weeks ago, and then it broke again.
God.
Have you guys never fixed something and had it break 2 weeks later because the part was a piece of crap?
All the time.
I've never replaced my fuel pump. I can tell you.
You've
that.
never replaced a fuel pump?
No.
It's not fun.
Sorry.
This was an interesting movie.
It was very
I wish
interesting.
Paul would have let us know why, because he put some long comment, but he didn't say why he chose this specifically for us. And he said he's going to leave a voicemail, but he didn't.
He's sorry
But I would
he
be
ruined
interested to
everything.
hear his story about his recommendation for this movie. Because I wasn't in the mood to watch something like this, so it was more of a hard watch. But the whole time I could appreciate it in a lot of ways. I think it is very well shot and stuff, and but I didn't. Yeah, I don't see anything bad about it. I don't know.
It's no secrets of the clown.
It's no secrets of the
I
clown.
wanted
is?
Secrets of the
Yeah.
Clown.
Secrets of the Clown is so good.
I was
We should watch
expecting
it
that.
again. All right. Anything else, guys?
I don't think so.
Okay. AJ. AJ.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Would you recommend the Sadist?
It's the saddest of the sad. I don't know. It wasn't really my thing. If you feel like, by what we have discussed tonight, that it sounds like you would want to jam to it and check it out, sure, go for it. For me, it just it wasn't interesting enough the dynamics of what was happening. And I do understand it was an older movie, and I do enjoy older movies, but this wasn't really one that I could get into. Just wasn't for me.
Aaron.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think it just is not for me, even though I do like older movies. This just didn't hold my attention, and it could just be my mood today. I don't know. But it's not something I would say to seek out.
Rebecca.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend it. I enjoyed it.
Lindsay.
Yes, I'll recommend it. It's very much of its time, and this was like a sleazy. This is the 1963 sleazy drive-in movie, and so it's very interesting to look at it from that perspective. So yeah, go check it out.
Speaking of sleazy, interesting to look at things, Spiv.
Yes, well, similar to me, I would check it out. And no, yeah, it has its flaws, of course, like every movie we watch on this show. But yeah, I think it is definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same place as Spiv and Lindsay and Rebecca. So there you go. That's it for the Sadist. Sadists win. Zoltan rules. Time to move on and play a game. So here we go.